Shout out to my subs, they the best. Let me see your teams and connect. FIFA 19, it is dead. Content going dry, it is wrecked. It's the end game, part 2. 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 Yeah.
What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy, One Star Weak Foot, and we are back. I apologize for the hiatus. It's been like 2 days since I dropped a video, but today we're gonna continue reviewing your squads. Like I said in the last reviewing of squads video, about like 30 to 40 of you guys sent me squads. I only got to review about 7 or 8 of them last video, so I'm gonna pick a bunch of them today and review them right now. So I'm gonna start with my PS messages. A bunch of you guys got my PSN gamer tags, so a bunch of you guys actually decided to message me on the PS4. So the first one we're going to start with is Ultimate Craig and his team. I guess he sent me 3 pictures. So his team starts like this in game, I'm guessing. Yep. Very solid team. And I guess this is his bench. Jesus, what a bench. That bench is pretty solid. And I guess in-game it looks like this. So we got Mane and Best as his strikers. Ibrahimovic as his cam. His midfield is Fernandinho, Goretzka, and Wijnaldum. And his defense is going to be, wow. So overall, I would say this is a very, very solid team. Not really many things wrong with it. I'm not a fan of Alisson, like I said last video. The midfield is not bad. I mean, Wijnaldum and Goretzka as your wide CMs both have the high to track up and down the pitch. You got Fernandinho, who's a very solid CDM. The main thing that I would say is the flaw of this team is just flashback Ibrahimovic. I think at this stage of the game, you could get a better cam. But let me see. How are you fitting him in on cam? Let me see. All right, so he's playing on 7 cam. There's a lot. I feel like, in my opinion, there's a lot better options at the cam position. Then this Ibrahimovic, it depends what your budget is. I would even rather play that Bernardo Silva card than Ibrahimovic. But maybe this guy's an Ibra fan, or maybe he likes having a really tall cam that can hold up play, in which case maybe I'd look at FFS Havertz or players like that. His bench looks really nice. I mean, Tovin, Fernando Torres. Maybe this guy just likes those tall players to win headers in the middle of the pitch, because Fernando Torres is a very similar card to this Ibrahimovic. You got Marquinhos, Piqué. Yo, very solid bench. Very solid team overall. I hope you're enjoying it, man. And yeah, let's move on to the next team. So team number 2 we're going to look at is my boy Vic. He's one of my day 1 subscribers, man. I think this guy was around since like I had less than 100 subs, so he says all of them are tradable. No FIFA points, not even $1. Very proud about that. Yeah, he says Zakaria is the cheap Vieira. Yo, I believe that, man. Zakaria was a very good value for money when he did come out. And this team looks very, very... Yo, this is a very good team for no FIFA points spent. Lots of icons. I mean, his front 3 is pretty solid. He got Figo. He got Nedved. He got Benzema. No problems there. I'm wondering if he plays 4-3-3 in game. Oh, no, he says right here. He wants to put in the 4-2-3-1. But I'm guessing he plays 4-3-3. Yeah, the only thing I would say about this team is Nedved is a bit slow to be playing winger at this stage of the game. Oh, he plays Hernandez as a cam. Very interesting. Petit and Zakaria are the CDMs. Not bad. And his defense, his defense is very, very solid. Off the bench, he has, it looks like Blind, Rashford, Martinez, and Ibrahimovic. So, for spending no FIFA points, if this is your end game team, lots of respect to you, Vic. Very, very good team. If you're looking at upgrades, I think the main 2 things I would look to upgrade are Nedved. I feel like he's a little too slow to play winger at this stage of the game. Even if you replace them with a different Rashford, like a Footies Rashford, or a higher version of this Rashford, I think that would be an upgrade over Nedved, just because of the pace and physical combination. At CDM, I think you could do better than Zakaria. I know Zakaria is a very good card, very overpowered card, but at this stage of the game, I feel like you could do a lot of different things rather than Zakaria. But I think it's very interesting when I look at this team again. He's using Zakaria to link Mbabu. Very, very unique link there. I don't think I've ever seen that in the game. So respect to that. Very good team. Now we're going to move on to the next team, which is going to be Mr. Beetle. What's his name? I think his name on YouTube is Ronald Harris. So shout out to you, Ronald Harris. Again, one of my first subscribers. I did want to look at your team, and let's see what it looks like. All right. It's pretty interesting because this guy sent me his team multiple times throughout the year, and I've just like watched it evolve. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he said he started FIFA around January, February. And look at this guy's team, man. Very, very solid team for somebody who started midway through the year. Front three, I feel like could be better. All right. Torres. I'm not going to hate on Torres because Torres is good. I feel like he's a very usable card. A lot of people, when I was playing Weekend League this week, subbed on this Torres, and he went on and scored against me. So, not mad at the Torres, but Felipe Anderson and Suso, I feel like you could do better than. Like, I feel like even Lozano, Promez, there's a lot of cheap options, like Onyekuru. I know it's hard to fit into this team, chem-wise, but there's a lot of cheap options you could bring in that are better than Felipe Anderson and Suso. Looking at your midfield, I'm guessing you play 4-2. It doesn't say here, but I'm guessing he plays 4-2-3-1 or 4-1-2-1-2. And Ronaldo, of course, is a still very good card at this stage of the game. Not hating on that. DePaul and Mendes. I like Mendes. I think he's a very good CDM. If it's going to be a 2 CDM formation, I wouldn't use him as a lone CDM. DePaul is a good CM, but I think this overall, this team is a little too offensive. Let's see what's on his bench. You got Mbabu, Kante, what's that guy? Immobile, and you got Diego Costa or Douglas Costa. Yeah, his defense looks fine too. I would say overall the main upgrade I would make to this team is the front three. I feel like you could do better than Suso or Felipe Anderson. And in the midfield, I think you could replace DePaul with somebody that's more defensive, or at least somebody that can put in a defensive shift, because I don't think DePaul is really what you're looking for in terms of a box-to-box CM. If you're going to put him next to Mendes, at least add somebody there with size. Those are two things I would really upgrade with this team. I mean, there's a lot of options you could use. Somebody like UCL Kondogbia is going for less than 100K, and he would be really great on this team. I'm not sure if he would fit chem-wise though, but there's a lot of options you can use. Even Benson Core, that's how you say his name. That Benson Core that plays for Juventus, the FFS card, would fit perfectly on this team. He'd be a great addition. There's a lot of different additions I would make to this team, and yeah, I would say it's a very good team for somebody who just started halfway through the year. Very, very solid team. And I think that it's a team that you can definitely get gold 2, gold 1 with no problems. After that, like if you're trying to hit elite, it might be limited in terms of the midfield and attacking third. Now let's move on to the next team. All right, so for the next batch of teams I'm going to look at, I'm going to go back to my Twitter and see what you guys sent me. I know there's a bunch of teams I missed from last video. So the first team I'm going to look at is Adrian Miles. He sent me something in my DM on Twitter, and this is going to be his team right here. So hope you guys can see that. He sent me 2 different teams. Oh, I'm guessing one's in-game and one. All right. So he starts off like this, and in-game, his team looks like this. All right. So his front two is going to be Kluivert and Mbappe, Cam, Ronaldinho. His midfield is very, it looks very defensive. He got Pogba, Kante, and Fabinho. He got Dean, Luiz, and Moore and Mbabu and Allison as his defense. Let me see. Finally made it long way without. Oh, that's actually, he has 500K. So he has a 500,000 budget. He hasn't played Weekend League or Rivals. He has a team like this. So first of all, I have to say congratulations. This is a very good team for somebody who doesn't really try hard, who doesn't really grind the game like a lot of people do. Because when you come up against a team like this, the assumption is this guy's really put a lot of time in the game. So for somebody to get a team like this without putting that much time in the game is really good. Now let me talk about the flaws in this team. And I feel like the first thing I'm going to point out is we have Bobby Moore playing center back. Yeah, I understand that Bobby Moore is probably there due to chem purposes, but I think for 500K, you could bring in other icons that can do that same thing. Or I would just get rid of Mbabu and use a different fullback altogether, because I think Bobby Moore is just not the kind of center back I would be using with team of the seasons, all having 90 pace, all having 99 jumping. I feel like that more is going to let you down. The next thing I want to talk about with this team is his midfield. He has Pogba, Conte, and 86 Fabinho. And that's fine, but in my opinion, it's a little bit too defensive. Fabinho and Conte are just pure defensive players. Pogba is good going forward, but he lacks the finishing. So I feel like with this midfield, personally, when I play this formation, what is this, a 4-3-1-2? 4-1-2-1-2. When I play a 4-1-2-1-2, I do rely on my CMs to have good shooting, or at least one of them to have really good finishing. And I feel like that's lacking on this team. So those are the two things I would upgrade. I would be looking for an upgrade either on Pogba or Fabinho or Conte, or looking for an upgrade on Bobby Moore. So for 500K, let me see what I could do for that money. Let's see. All right, man. So I did a bit of research, and I would say the two main upgrades I would make to this team are, number one, I would replace Bobby Moore with somebody like 89 Blanc, even mid Rijkaard or Baby or mid Ferdinand. They all fit into the 200 to 300K budget, and in my opinion would be much more meta than using Bobby Moore. As far as your midfield, I would replace Fabinho with team of the season Wijnaldum. I think he would be perfect for this kind of team, this kind of formation, that position, and he would provide you with more going forward than Fabinho, while still being able to be defensively responsible. So those would be the upgrades I would suggest for this team. But otherwise, very good team, very well-rounded team, and very good team for not spending much time on this game. So let's move on to the next squad. All right, so the next squad we're going to look at is this guy, Lore03. And this is what his team looks like, all right? Wow, very solid team. So it looks like his front three is going to be Neymar, Aouar, and Tovin. Midfield, Fabinho, Eriksen, and Son. And his defense is going to be Telles, Militao, Van Dijk, and Alexander-Arnold. I'm guessing he switches Aouar and Son in-game. Does he have a budget? Does he say anything? No. All right. So overall, I would say this is a very, very, very well-rounded team. I mean, let's start with his defense. His defense is pretty much perfect. For that budget, I don't think you can really do much better. I think Alexander-Arnold is kind of expensive, but at the same time, I guess he does need Alexander-Arnold for chem. His only other his only other option would be to bring in team of the season Alisson over De Gea, and I don't think that's a good idea overall. So not bad on the defense. His midfield, Fabinho, Eriksen, and Aouar. Honestly, a very well-rounded defense. I would rather use somebody else rather than Fabinho, but it looks like he does need Fabinho for chem purposes. I'm not really a big fan of that Fabinho card, honestly. But Eriksen and Aouar, very, very well-rounded, and both of them can still put in a defensive shift. So that's a well-rounded midfield. His front three of Neymar, Son, and Tovin, very, very well-rounded as well. 2 5-star weak foot. I heard Tovin's a very good card. Haven't actually gotten the chance to give him a proper go. So yeah, I would say overall, if I could make an upgrade to this team, I would upgrade Fabinho. I would bring in a different Brazilian center defensive mid if possible. Let me see, who can I bring in to this team? I think a good option here to upgrade from Fabinho, if you want to really have fun, would be like that Thiago Mendes team of the season. I think he's better than Fabinho. The only thing is he's kind of small, so this midfield would be kind of small, but it would still fit in chem-wise. But yeah, those are kind of things I would look into if you wanted to upgrade this team, is to really upgrade that Fabinho card. Otherwise, I think this is a very, very solid team. Now let's move on to the next squad. All right, so this is going to be squad number 6, I believe, and this is from Kate X at I Am Really. Didn't play, deleted the game, but I like the squad. Plays in a 3-4-1-2. Very solid squad here. Oh, he plays in a 3-4-1-2. I was about to say, why is PK playing left back, man? So we got PK, Cannavaro, and Barzagli as his back three. I'm guessing his wide mids are going to be Cancelo and Chiesa. Those would make the most sense there. So not bad as far as like a back five, back three, whatever. Midfield is going to be Pogba and Conte. The only thing I would say about this team is you could definitely do better than Depay. There's a lot of different cards you could bring in for less than 50K on this team that would get the same amount of chem as Depay. That would be a lot better. I'm not sure where he's playing Depay. Does he say? Oh, he doesn't really say. There's a lot better options than Depay. Otherwise, I would say this is a very solid squad, especially with Dembele. I'm guessing Dembele would be the cam in this formation. Stoichkov would be the striker, and Depay would be the other striker. I don't know. I guess that's what I would do. But yeah, I think for 50K or less, even somebody like Dabber would be amazing as a striker here. Or somebody like Tawamba. They're like, what, 20, 30K? And they would fit on this cam on 7, 8. They would fit on this team on 7, 8 cam, and they would be great. That's pretty much the main upgrade I would make to the side. I'm guessing since he doesn't play the game that much, there wouldn't really be that many options as far as money. So I would go for a cheap option. I would go for Dabber or maybe a special Jovic, not the team of the season, but the ones below it. Something like that. Fit him on 7, 8 chem and just rock with it like that. So that's my feedback on this squad. Now I'm going to go on my YouTube and see other squads that you guys have submitted real quick. Let's get it. Here we go. I'm back on the YouTube. As you can see, about 33 people. Oh, it doesn't say. See, 33 people submitted their squads via this YouTube. I'm going to start here with Logan Spina. He says, everything untradeable except Bernardo Silva. This is how it looks in game after I sub on Telles. Wow. That's not what I expected to see. That's honestly an amazing squad. So his back three is going to be Kimmich, Van Dijk, Blanc, and Telles. Ederson, goalkeeper. Yo, I'm guessing everybody packed Ederson or Alisson because literally all these squads have either Ederson or Alisson. Let's see. Telles, Blanc, Van Dijk. I love him. Kimmich, I haven't had a chance to try. I think it would be worth exploring using Kimmich at CDM and then bringing Mendy to the right back position since Mendy has the 5-star weak foot and he has the pace to really track back, whereas Kimmich doesn't really have the pace, but he does have good defensive stats and he has good, well-rounded stats that would really do well in the CDM position. So that's the first thing I would say about this team. His midfield, Awar and Bernardo Silva, very good cards. His Cam Son, amazing card. And then we have Van Basten and Quagliarella. I would say also here, I would say possibly maybe switch Son and Quagliarella around. With how I like to play my strikers, when I play a two-striker formation, I like one of them to have a lot of pace on them. So I think Son's pace could be utilized better as a get-in behind striker rather than as a cam. And then Quagliarella has the passing, the shooting, and still has decent pace on him to play the cam position. So those are two things I would really say from my end I would do. I would switch Mendy and Kimmich and then switch Son and Quagliarella. As far as upgrades, I mean, I'm not really sure what I would upgrade. It depends on what the budget is. I don't really see any major weaknesses on this team at all. I mean, I know Van Basten is not my cup of tea, but he's still a broken card. 98 shooting, still 98 shooting. He has the size and the agility to really play the striker position very effectively if that's your play style. I think this is a very solid squad. Congratulations, man. I know this is probably a lot of fun to play with in game. Let's check out another squad here. So we have Brad Nassar. Brad Nassar. Let's see what your squad looks like, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. If I saw this guy in Weekend League, I would quit. Now I'm just joking. But damn, this guy's squad is amazing. All right, so let's look at his defense. He has Sandro, Blanc, Maldini, Costa. Arguably one of the best defenses you can have on this game. I think the only real upgrade you can make here is to get rid of Blanc, get Militao, Van Dijk, Varane, or Ramos. Other than that, Maldini is definitely in the top tier of defenders. Da Costa and Sandro, top tier of fullbacks, so amazing defense. His midfield is very well-rounded. He got Hullet, Mateus, and he has Havertz. That's, to me, is almost a perfect midfield. Arguably, the only thing you can really do here is replace Mateus for Vieira, but that's really up to taste because maybe this guy likes what Mateus is bringing to the table as far as being a pit bull who can score, who can pass, who has the pace. Very good midfield. And, of course, Hullet is a broken card. Then we have his attack. Yo, he has Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and Messi. Oh, my God. This is... you can't really upgrade this team. I mean, at this point, it's just all about taste. Like, do you want Neymar? Do you want Ronaldo? Do you want Eusebio? Or do you want Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and Messi? I mean, when it comes down to it, it's just like what kind of players do you like? What do you have untradeable, stuff like that. But this is probably one of the best teams I've looked at so far since I've done the series. And, yo, congratulations. This must be an amazing team. Jesus Christ. I don't really know what to say about it at this point. All right, so that's going to be my reviewing squads part 2 video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully to the guys' squads I reviewed, you guys found it helpful because I really found it fun looking at you guys' squads, looking at the kind of endgame teams people are using, looking at the icons or like the team of the season cards people are really favoring. It's really interesting to see from my perspective, and I really enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to hit the like button down below. I appreciate all you guys watching right now, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with another video. But until then, later.